Big show coming your way this morning on Morning Drive, including a closer look at Bernard Langer, who is going for his third consecutive senior major at the U.S. Senior Open. But can trouble get in his way? And speaking of trouble, Chantel McCabe, where in the world are you?
Come on now, Charlie. It's Major Championship Week. We are live on site at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. We're talking defending champion Brooke Henderson and Stacey Lewis. Plus, live on set, we're going to have Dr. Condoleezza Rice. I cannot wait, Paige.
And Ricky Fowler is teeing it up this week after coming off a top 5 finish in a major championship. We'll share the keys to his success and how it can help you in your game. Morning Drive starts right now.
Welcome into Studio AP. Charlie Reimer with Paige McKenzie, Lauren Thompson in just a moment. But Paige, I've been working hard on my golf game, and I've been making a lot of progress until yesterday. Oh my goodness, did I take a giant step back yesterday? I don't know how I can recover. It was horrible.
Well, some days are just like that, Charlie. I think anybody that plays this game knows some days you just got to forget about it and move on, and, a good sleep on it. You'll start fresh today. I
didn't do much sleeping last night after the way I played yesterday. But we got a great show coming your way, guys. And right now, let's take a look at some cool video that has been submitted to the Rory Foundation. The winner of these Best Trick Shot is going to get some tickets to the Irish Open, also a spot in the program. That was Ash, doing a pretty good little double hit there,
I was going to say, usually a double hit is not a good thing. In this case, it might actually pay off for him. I like it, Charlie.
It's pretty hard to pull that one off. He had to practice that. Okay, check out Jamie. He's getting all technical because what he's doing is he's got a target made of old CDs he's put together, and he's got them tied to a drone suspended over a lake. He's going to try and take out that target. That's pretty impressive. And Shane, this one is very complex right here. What do you think about this one, Paige?
I think this combines not only golf, billiards, incredible stopping on a dime right there, dominoes.
He got them to fall fast, too. Did you notice that? That's hard to do.
Well, I think we might have had a little something to do with that. And then icing on the cake right there. Oh, right. Now we're back to Shane.
Back at Jamie, the drone. I mean, I don't even know how you fly a drone, but that's pretty cool right there.
Well, and this is how you use CDs these days. I don't remember the last time I used a CD. So a reflective target in the distance hanging off of a drone could actually pay off for him.
I don't even think my kids know what CDs are. So who do you pick there? I mean, who do you like the best?
I kind of like the billiards, because if you did notice, there was television monitors in the background with Rory McIlroy. I give that an A+ for production value.
Yeah, a lot of thought and planning, but I like the technical part that we saw with the drone. So I'm going with the drone shoot.
I think
taking those CDs out.
You just like your remote control planes.
Yeah. We got somebody on the crew that's great with technical stuff, Lauren Thompson. She flies drones around town all the time, don't you, LT?
Yeah, that's just exactly what I do when I'm not here in Studio AP. One thing I am going to do today on Morning Drive, get you updated with what's happening now, because we're officially on the eve of the 63rd KPMG Women's PGA Championship, the first of 2 straight years that the event's going to be held in the Chicago area. Kemper Lakes Golf Club next year, but this time Olympia Fields Country Club, where Morning Drive has been taking you all week long, and we're not stopping today. Chantel McCabe and our LPGA Tour winner Nicole Castrali, they are there on the scene. Good morning, ladies. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Happy to be here. The week keeps rolling on. It's been great so far. And yesterday at the Pro-Am, there was Drew Scott of Property Brothers out there playing with Lydia Ko. He was totally excited. You had guys like Bo Jackson, Michelle Kwan, Brian Urlacher. They were all having a blast. And you were out there.
And all the LPGA players are posting selfies with all these celebrities. Oh, yeah. It's really neat to see.
Absolutely. And you were out there and you got to walk the course. And what kind of observations did you make yesterday?
This golf course is phenomenal. Every single hole that you walk up to, you just think to yourself, wow, this is a good golf hole. It is definitely going to test the players' abilities. The golf course really shapes itself off the tee, but the greens have so much movement in it. Depending on the pin placement, it is going to be very difficult to get the ball close for sure. And the challenge will be for these players to keep the ball below the pin. Because these greens are so fast, once you get the ball above, you will be playing in defense mode. So because of that, expect to see players having a lot of 3 and 4 footers coming back for par, and you see the wind whipping in that last shot. That is what is going to be so challenging to get the ball close. It is just a great overall golf course. And a little later on, you're actually going to see my conversation with the man who was responsible for setting up this major championship, Kerry Haig, and he's known to be very fair but challenging, and it will test every aspect of the player's game this week.
I know that you had mentioned earlier in the week that this just has the major championship feel to it. How so? What did you notice yesterday?
Well, like I said, really when you pull in, you see all the big grandstands and you see the enormity of the event. You see the PGA of America flag flying high and the KPMG flag. All those things add to your nerves as a player. And again, the golf course is in perfect shape. Hats off to the superintendent and his crew, and every single player I've talked to said that this golf course has far exceeded their expectations.
We are going to be rolling on all show long. The clubhouse here is amazing. Fans were out at the Pro-Am yesterday, and this is going to be a really exciting major championship week. Coming up in the show, we're going to be talking about defending champion Brooke Henderson and where her game is at, and also two-time major champ Stacey Lewis. We're going to be talking much more about her and plenty of other players, plus Dr. Condoleezza Rice, who is so involved with the game of golf, with drive, chip, and putt. She's speaking at the Women's Leadership Summit today. We're going to be having her live on set. So much good stuff coming up. And Charlie, I know you are jealous.
Yes, I am. Great work, ladies. Olympia Fields is a magnificent place. I know we're going to have a magnificent tournament this week. I'm glad you guys are there for us the entire week. Well, happening now, Bernhard Langer going for his 3rd consecutive senior major championship. He's already won the Regions Tradition and the Senior PGA Championship earlier this year. He has a record 9 senior majors, and it looks like no one can stop him right now. So much momentum. Here's a look at his tee time. He is grouped with Jeff Maggart and Kenny Perry. They hit number 10 tee tomorrow at 8:24 Eastern time. Time now for State Your Case. We are going to take a little closer look at Bernhard Langer and state your case. And Paige, this is a pretty easy one. State your case for Bernhard Langer to win this week.
Oh, that is an easy one because he has already 3 wins so far this season. So on a roll, you got to go with the hot hand a lot of times. So Bernhard Langer will for sure be a favorite. Also has never finished outside 22nd at the Senior U.S. Open. That's key because this style of play suits his game. He leads the Champions Tour in greens and regulation, which of course we know any USGA event, any US Open, whether it's a Senior Open or a PGA Tour event, really rewards that kind of accuracy into the greens. So Charlie, he's got to be a favorite, but I know we don't always agree. So maybe state your case as to why you think he won't win.
In the spirit of the game, this is a tough one to come up with a few reasons, but I've got some good ones. First and foremost, in a USGA championship with this setup, if you're a little bit off with your driver, not even Bernhard Langer can go out and play from the rough this week. He has driven the ball very beautifully this year, does a great job of putting it in play. He's not the longest out there. He's not the straightest, but in combination, he's very good off the tee. But if you're a little bit off, it could be a very long week. And I got a couple other reasons that maybe Langer could struggle a little bit this week. One of them is Freddie Couples. Freddie Couples has been phenomenal this year when he has played. He's only got 7 starts on the PGA Tour Champions. His worst finish is a tie for 13th. He closed with a 66 in Madison on Sunday to pick up the win. He comes in with a ton of momentum. And then defending champion, my buddy Gene Sowers, who has played some really solid golf this year, broke through with a big win last year. If you look at Gene's game, he drives the ball really, really well, and he putts the ball really, really well. So maybe just a couple of reasons that Langer could get off track.
It would be a first. If he were to win 3 straight in the same season, it would be the first time that's ever done. So it's going to be a difficult task, but of course, how many records has Bernhard broken already?
And how many more will he break? A great venue, Salem Country Club in Peabody, Massachusetts, a Donald Ross design. Looking forward to seeing how the play unfolds there this week in the U.S. Senior Open. But for now, LT, what you got over there?
Thank you so much, Charlie. Yeah, Bernhard Langer, a grinder, but also happening this week, Ricky Fowler. He's making his first start since a strong finish at Erin Hills, a tie for 5th place at the U.S. Open. All part of a week where he opened with a fiery record-tying 7 under 65 on the longest course in U.S. Open history. Now, though, he takes to TPC Potomac at Avenel Farm, where he will be playing the first round of the Quicken Loans National off the 10th tee with Australian Mark Leishman, who won earlier this year at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, as well as Adam Hadwin, also victorious early in 2017. You don't want to miss a minute of it. Golf Channel's coverage kicks off tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But for now, I'm kicking you back to Charlie and Paige.
All right, LT. Ricky Fowler, Paige, is the highest-ranked player in the field. What can we learn when we take a little closer look at Ricky's game?
Well, we've learned a lot about how comfortable he's gotten in these positions, in these major championships. And we got up with him at the U.S. Open this year, and he talked a little bit about what in his game has helped him become more comfortable around the golf course.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way I've started this year, I feel like I'm better throughout my whole game. I've been able to tighten things up. I used to not be a very good bunker player. Now I feel like, I have a lot of confidence, and the stats show I'm one of the best, and that's definitely been something that's been nice to, have it, on days where you're not exactly on, and just understanding and freeing yourself up, because if you might miss something, say, okay, I'll just get it up and down, and then been driving it well. Driving stats have gone up, which hitting the fairways has made it a little easier, and that's definitely something that makes a difference out here.
So I'm going to have to disagree with what Ricky said about his game there. He said, now I feel like I'm one of the best bunker players in the game. No, actually, Ricky, you are the best bunker player in the game. He's #1 in sand save percentage for this season on the PGA Tour. And he's not just doing it by dumping it out 20 feet from the hole, making a lot of putts. He's second in proximity to the hole from the sand. He is a phenomenal bunker player, Paige. There is no doubt about that. What are the keys to his bunker play?
I think there's maybe 3 fundamentals that he uses a lot. We saw this in the U.S. Open, which was his last start leading into this week. And the first thing is he knows how to take care of the club face. He knows how to open the club face and then align his body relative to that. And then the next thing is having that neutral shaft position. And then from there, a lot of people try to drag the handle through. You want to be able to release the club head from there. All 3 of those things help splash the sand with the back of the club face. So we're going to take a look at some of those shots, all different shots, but all accomplish that. You can see right here that alignment I was talking about. You can see lined up left with that open face and splashing with the back of the club head. And I love that, Charlie, because that's what this wedge is built for. You want to use the equipment the way that it's meant to be used, the way that it's meant to be built in this technology. And he's able to do that in all these different scenarios. You can see right there, neutral hand position, club head passing the hands, face wide open. There's no dragging of the handle through, even though in that situation, it would be easy to do because you are on the downhill lie. It's pretty fun to watch somebody really be a master at their craft.
Yeah, I think for me, when I start looking at golf and you start breaking down, to me, it's a whole bunch of small games inside of this one big game that we love. Bunker play, to me, if you spend some time with it and you fall in love with it, can be the most fun part of the entire game. I absolutely love watching great players get in and hit bunker shots.
Me too.
For me, it was Seve. I always love watching Seve. Great work, Paige. And for more great work, here's Lauren Thompson.
Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate that. We should all work on our bunker play a little bit more. Well, still to come, from Ricky getting out of the sand to this week's defending champ out on the golf course, Nicole Castrali is going to take a walk with Brooke Henderson at Olympia Fields. We know how she won at Sahali last year. Now hear what she thinks about the venue this go round and if it suits her game. Then we're going to be going to welcome back one of our favorite Golf Channel Academy lead coaches, Brian Jacobs from Rochester, to talk about squaring the club face at impact. Is this something you battle in your game? Well, today he's coming armed with some drills and how to be sure they are making their mark quite literally. Stick around for that. Plus, we're going to bring on a NASCAR driver who made news recently on the track, but also part of a golf tour you may or may not have on your radar. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Trust us, you will have this on your radar once you see the scene he and some other household names of the racetrack compete on. He's also going to be giving some interesting advice to Charlie Reimer involving safety, because we know that's important. All things to look forward to in Studio AP, but also much more on the way live from the major scene south of Chicago this week. It's KPMG Women's PGA Championship Week right here on Morning Drive. Stay with us.